Welcome to Ignite Your Essence show. I'm your host, Michelle Wilson, and we get to talk about ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. We talk about it through entrepreneurship, leadership, and through our personal journey. And today I am really excited because we are going to be talking about how to achieve your dreams with Maggie Avila. She is a director, a producer, an actress, and entrepreneur, and she is on a mission to empower people to achieve their dreams. But let's learn a little bit more about Maggie.
At the beginning of Maggie Avila's professional career in her native Ensenada, Mexico, she was an opera singer under the direction of her beloved mentor, Maestro Jesus Velez, performing for celebrities, dignitaries, and the President of Mexico, Ernesto Savedo. As a teenager, Maggie took on several modeling jobs, appearing in print ads and popular television commercials. Maggie also served a short stint as a news reporter and on-camera talent for the Mexican television network Televisa. After a rewarding career in Mexican films, television, theatrical, and operatic production, Maggie Avila made her way to the Mecca of Entertainment, Hollywood. Maggie Avila's most recent work can be seen now in My American Family, a TV series on Amazon Prime, and also in the feature film Dog Eat Dog with Oscar winner Nicolas Cage. Maggie also recently debuted as a film director and producer with a powerful and empowering story, Altitude Not Attitude, is an award-winning featured documentary semi-finalist and official selection in over 20 festivals. A fun fact about Maggie is she enjoys salsa dancing. And now a guest on Ignite Your Essence TV show, Maggie Avila, welcome.
Welcome, Maggie. How are you today?
Thank you so much for such a beautiful, beautiful presentation. I am so happy to be here. How are you, Michelle?
I am doing well. I'm so blessed, and I'm so thrilled to have you on our show today. You are amazing, all the accomplishments you've had over the years. And really, let's just go ahead and dive in. I want to talk about, you started in the entertainment industry when you were only 13 years old. So I want to go back to when you were at 13. And, as a young girl, how did you really, I mean, an opera singer at that, how did you get started and what inspired you?
Well, I used to dream about being an artist when I was, in my elementary school. I used to cast all the kids around the neighborhood as the soap opera leading roles that we watched the night before, and obviously be the producer, the director, the leading actress. It was just fun, kids playing. But then one day in junior high school, we skipped classes and we took off to another junior high school to see the handsome little boys, right? We had a little friend of mine. And so during recess, that school was so big that we lost track of each other. We lost track of each other. And I was a very shy kid. And so I was wandering through the classes and watching how everybody was getting back into their classrooms. And this amazing classroom caught my attention. I heard the music from my father, the music from 1920s to 1940s, classical and golden era. And then I saw that the performers, a little camera orchestra and a choir, they were my age, which was a very rare thing. I have never seen that before. I was just 13, right? And then the maestro with big, bright eyes, very charming, very funny, but would command them with this one look, right? And everybody was having so much fun, and the music was so beautiful. I stayed there among other kids, just watching, enjoying the music, listening. And then when the class ended, the Maestro Vélez, adorado, divino, he walked to the next building with three of other sopranos who were studying in that other building, which was a high school. And so without them noticing, I walked behind them and I was just watching from far. And then when they got into the classroom, I just hang by the window, and there was a little crack open, and I was just watching there and enjoying these beautiful voices that these ladies still have. I love you, ladies, wherever you are right now. Right, most of you are in Ensenada right now. And so, and I was listening, and I have never heard anything like that before. They were doing vocalizations, and their voices were so beautiful that it just made something really big happen in my heart. I was just in another zone, right? And then when they started studying a cadence, my teacher was getting frustrated because they were having fears and confusion, and they were not hitting the notes. And my teacher was telling them, but you were hitting higher notes here in the piano with the vocalization before. And just because you have pajaritos en la cabeza, he would say, like birds in your head, like noise. That's what he was referring to, preconceptions. He was saying, just because you hear that this area is so hard, you're thinking that you cannot do it, but you actually have done way more. And then he said, let me call this kid over here. Hey, you come over here, the one in the window. And I was like, wait, me? And he's like, yes, you. And I had no idea what he was talking about, right? And he's like, have you ever played being a bird or an eagle or a seagull or anything like that? He said. I'm like, yes. Can you try to imitate these noises here? I'm like, sure. And so I did it. And then again, and then again, and then they were looking at each other. And the next year, I was performing the magic flute with them, Mozart's magic flute, Queen, the aria of uh, the Queen of the Night. And so throughout the following 10 years, I was performing with them, and I learned from that moment that preconceptions, our fears, or whatever people come to implant or try to implant into our heads, sometimes are not of any use. Sometimes we just uh, have to not think about the obstacles that might be so hard, so strong, and just focus on that one thing that we really, really want, and that thing that we really, really enjoy so much. So that's how it all started.
That's an amazing story because it sounded like, did you even know that you had that voice until your maestro kind of brought it out of you? Did you even know because opera is a pretty, that voice is, a lot of practice. And for the first time being a child, I don't say a child, but a young girl at 13 years old, did you even knew you had that in you at the time when he was kind of challenging you to think like a bird? I'm just kind of curious.
No, I used to just sing at home, and then my mother would go, "Oh my God, you're so out of tune!" And up until today, okay. So, but my teacher taught us, you just have to work really, really, really hard. You just have to focus, be consistent,
Wow, that's
not out of
amazing.
tune. So that worked out. But he brought it out of us, and then if you think about it, it was such a life changing because he was such an angel. He used to be a priest. He was trained to be a priest, and then he taught music throughout Baja and Mexico through many generations. And what he would do, he would go to the poor neighborhoods where we used to live and pick us up, as many as he could fit in his car. Then he would take us, he would feed us because he knew we were in trouble, kids. We were like, we needed love, attention, care. So he would take us to eat. And then on the tables, the paper table mats, he would write down there figurines, cartoons with a history of music because he was so funny. And then he would tell us jokes and anecdotes and teach us that way. He would always be talking to us about music and history, philosophy, so many wonderful things. So he was really implanting amazing seeds in our heads. And so then he would take us to the classroom, and some of us, we stayed there for 3 hours, especially during concert times. Then we would be for about 4 hours, 2 to 3 in the morning, and then 2 to 3 in the evening. It would be really, really, really dedicated work. But when people like that shows up in a kid's life, it's such a miracle. It's such a thing that there is no words to express the gratitude. And that is why now I am trying to before I make all my big dreams come true, try to pass on the word and the teachings, just uh, guide with what I have learned throughout my life, people that are in their way up, and people that have been through the things that I went through, and so on.
Wow, that's amazing to have a mentor who really cared and was just a service to you and your community. And now you get to give back. And I think that's just an amazing story. So thank you for sharing that story, Maggie. And I want to just kind of pivot because we are talking about journey to your dreams. So sounds like your maestro, he was definitely a pivotal point in your career, starting off your career, but just pouring into you. But I know that you are an actress and you are a film producer, and I mean, you so many talents, Maggie. And so I have a quick question for you. What is the number one problem you do to solve for your clients? Because I know you are passionate, and it sounds like it came at a very young age because someone poured into you. But what's the number one problem that you solve for your clients?
Well, I teach them how to become unstoppable. I teach them, not only with my example, but with my online courses, how to stay on track on their goals, no matter what is happening in life, no matter what challenges they might overcome, and teach them how to get tackle of those obstacles, and how to get the best out of them, and how to work with the elements that they have at the moment. So being unstoppable is a very, very important. It's a pillar. It's one of the strongest pillars for any actor, and in every career in life also, if you think about it, to keep on moving and keep on growing and keep on developing, no matter what is pulling you back or holding you down. You will always be able to find the way. You will always, always, always be able to, as long as you keep very, very focused on what makes you unstoppable.
Wow, so unstoppable is definitely a characteristic. But can you share with us, share with our viewers, like maybe one experience where you experienced a challenge or an obstacle or maybe even a failure, and what did you learn from that experience, and how did you overcome that so that you were unstoppable and that you were able to achieve your dreams?
Wow. Okay, that is a great, great question. This is gonna lead us to talk about my documentary. So, okay, for example, something pretty recent. There's been a lot of other stuff after that, but let's say I can talk now about that one. You know how you sometimes have to settle. So, during the year 2020, as for most people, it was really, really, really hard, right? But I didn't even know anything about the pandemic, the COVID or the pandemic or anything. But so I was finishing the post production of my documentary, Altitude Not Altitude, multi award now, thank goodness, awarded, multi award winning documentary now. But at that point, I felt that I had such a commitment, not only to Michael, who hired me and allowed me to tell my story, but you know, there's so many people that are looking up to me, my niece and the upcoming talent, my friends, and all the people that I hired. Everybody is just a work commitment, so I had to be there. And my mother, poor baby, she had an accident on the 31st, and then so the first month of 2020, I was driving to Ensenada back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because she was the whole month at the hospital. Then she died at the end of January, and then I started working on the TV series My American Family. And it is a comedy, and it's beautiful, with Danny Trejo. It's streaming right now on Amazon Prime, and it was fantastic. Everybody was so sweet and supportive, but nobody really knew what was I going through. So between the cuts, between scenes, I had to select the music for the documentary, just the final touches and the final selections, and approve and approve and approve. And I was listening. And then at the same time that I was dealing with my mother's death, the funeral, the expenses, the inheritance, my siblings, it's been there for everybody. So I had to put aside my own feelings, my own emotions, my own not sleeping, because I was not sleeping, which helped to the character make me look a little bit older. But what kept me going the most, not only that it was the commitment, the word commitment, that I said I was going to be there, and I have to be there because your word is very important. You are here to collaborate, to contribute, to serve. But that the documentary has such a powerful, important message. And I thought, if I finish this, if this is the last thing I do, because I know that whomever watches this documentary is going to get fired up, is going to get inspired, is going to learn that we all go through the 5 phases of recovery, and that they will be unstuck from whatever suffering they're going through, and that they're going to be able to laugh again and enjoy life and be of service to the rest of the people in the world. And so I thought that was so, so, so important. And I thought, if I just break down myself, if I just sit down to cry, how am I going to be there for my siblings if I do that? How am I going to be there for my loved ones and my customers and everybody? I need to do what I must do. And then eventually, I know I will schedule the crying for later on, take my time to recharge, but I gotta do this now. And so that is a perfect example that when you have so much clarity about your mission, your strength, your peace of mind, and the love that you feel for people, and the resources come into place to keep you going. And then that was I'm sorry, that was a really interesting experience, a very different experience. But that is a perfect example of how to become unstoppable. When I just, not long ago, it was like the universe was saying, "Oh, really? This is what you're teaching? Okay, show me, show me." So maybe we can do that too.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for your loss, but thank you for sharing that story about your mother and just the experience of, like you said, you had a purpose and you knew what your mission was, and you put your feelings aside, but you put them aside just for a moment, right? So that you can fulfill the commitments that you have to, your actors and actresses. And so I just really want you to say thank you for sharing that story with us. And
Thank
there
you.
was a lot in there that I want to just kind of go back and unpack. So the first thing I want to talk about is your series on American Prime, the My American Family. Can you kind of share a little bit about that series and your character? I know you said it was, kind of a funny series, but you were going through something very serious, and then you were transitioning to your show that was more humorous. So can you just share a little bit more about your series, My American Family?
Absolutely. I'm so proud and so, so grateful to be part of this amazing group. My American Family, I'll read it to you so I make it shorter, is the Martinez clan, which is headed by Mama Victoria, Magi Avila, a tus órdenes, and Steve Jacks. We thought that we were getting a Chinese exchange student, but ended up with a 6.5 foot tall Russian pushing 30 who just happened to be at school in China. He was not Russian. He had like 5 nationalities, and that is one of the things on our TV show that we have a diversity in our cast, which is very beautiful. It's very empowering for females, single mom, teenage moms like I was. And it's really beautiful because it makes fun a little bit about our differences, but at the same time it's very it's elevating everyone around, and it's super funny and wise. And we have Mr. Danny Trejo on the show, which is amazing in the show, like in everything he does. And we're very, very grateful. He's been winning awards around the film festival circuits, and we are getting ready for the second season, which but right now it's about to be in different countries, distributed to different countries. So that's going to take a little bit before we start filming again. And so you can watch it on Amazon Prime, and you're going to enjoy it. And thank you for the comments, for all of you guys that have been commenting and sending nice messages. Please keep them coming because Amazon loves that.
Well, thank you so much. It sounds like it's a really fun but also educational series. So looking forward to watching that. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Maggie.
created by Victor Migalchan. And we have amazing stars in the show as well. Yes.
Awesome. And then from actress to film producer. Now let's talk a little bit about your documentary. I know you mentioned it. You said it was altitude to attitude,
Altitude, not attitude.
not attitude. And you were talking about there was 5 phases. And can you maybe share maybe one or two with us? Like, because I know that it's been in festivals, you've been honored. And how did you make that? And I'm asking quite a few questions. How did you make that transition from actress to film producer, right? I mean, like I said, you are a woman of many talents, and I love that idea of unlimited possibilities and just going after your dreams. But it sounds like you were going through a difficult time, but you were transitioning from an actress to a film producer and then creating this movie. So, can you just share a little bit more with our audience that experience?
Absolutely. So, as an actor, you read so many scripts, you work in so many movies, and it's a consequence to direct in your head. As soon as you get a script in your head and in your hands, you can see all of these images, and then you watch so many amazing films that you get so much influence. And then you start taking courses and this and that. And when the opportunity comes, I met Michael, and then 10 days later, I was on a cruise ship without even knowing him, but I knew he was a pure, beautiful soul, a perfect gentleman. And so within 10 days, I was able to put a skeleton crew. And then we went to Europe to accompany him to film his experience and explore his mind among these gorgeous European landmarks. We went to Spain, Italy, France, and London, and we were exploring the 5 phases of recovery. Denial, anger, acceptance, and so on. And so, because he is a very humorous person, the documentary is fun and funny to watch. And yes, there is moments of tears and so on, but it is really mostly educational because it edificates the human spirit. And we talk about, no matter what obstacles, again coming back to the same theme, no matter what obstacles come to life, while you're still alive, you can make changes, you can make things happen. And so that is what happens in this documentary. We show how Michael recovered from falling off 3 stories. He broke his neck, died 4 times before being able to, and then they were able to rescue him, but then he lost all of his mobility. And he used to be from a humble family, and he was a bartender at that time, but then he became a super successful person precisely because he focused on service, because he focused on what was the best outcome for everyone around him, and he utilized his talents and explored them, and was able to create a very beautiful life for himself and everybody that he meets. He touches his lives, is very supportive. And so this documentary has brought so many beautiful experiences and challenges. It's been really, really fulfilling. Has made you stoppable. Once you watch it, it clicks so many things on you. And so while I was interviewing him and interviewing all the people around, because you know how it's a documentary, sometimes, I mean, I thought, okay, it was going to be serious or something. And then I thought, no, this has to be a documentary because of the way we filmed everything. I filmed with my iPhone 7, most of it, like about 70% of the movie is with an iPhone 7, and then GoPros, and then the little Sony cameras. So right now we have been on an Academy Award qualifying film festival, the Flickers Rhode Island Film Festival. Thank you so much. It's such an honor. La Femme just won the Best Director Awards recently. It's been in over 20 film festivals. Was a runner on the IDA, one of the most prestigious documentary awards, the International Documentary Association. And then one that is coming up soon, and I can't tell you how excited about it. I am about it. It's the Latina Independent Film Extravaganza, produced by Fanny Vélez Hermosa and directed by Iris Almaraz, and it was founded by the great Josefina Lopez. So it showcases all of these wonderful Latina filmmakers. So I can't wait for the event. I am so grateful and so honored to be invited. And so the documentary, you can find it on Amazon Prime, on YouTube, Apple TV, distributed by Gravitas. ventures, and we have an amazing red carpet event, the Landmark Theater, this past June. And so it's been a huge challenge as a to become from a director, from an actor to become a director and then a producer, because it's really, really, really something that I was just tackling one thing at a time, putting everything together. And so I highly recommend it. One last thing, because I know I extend myself a lot, is that once you guys watch this documentary, when you rent it, a portion of the proceeds are going to charities such Dana and Christopher Reeves Foundation, Creative Steps, Will to Walk, and and many more. We have partnered up with them, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for that opportunity to be able to support other people through it.
Wow, Maggie, I want to dig a little bit deeper because you said you created this documentary from an iPhone. I think that's amazing because maybe as a filmmaker or someone just getting started, think that you have to have a big budget, right? To create a film. So I think that is really phenomenal what you did. And so I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. But first, we want to talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Tribune because we, are here every Thursday. We stream live. And so let's learn a little bit more about the Los Angeles Tribune.
Welcome to the Los Angeles Tribune page. Here you will find original news programming, exclusive digital events, and shows that are directly from the community. At the Los Angeles Tribune, we believe in giving a voice to the voiceless. We are proud to be the only national brand to empower everyday people to make a difference. Since 1886, our reputation has been built on truth and responsibility. Thank you for watching and making a difference.
For general inquiries, contact today. Thank you on behalf of the Los Angeles Tribune team.
And welcome back. We are here with Magi Avila, and we were just talking about how, she actually created a documentary. And it was just, you're an actress, but you're like, hey, I want to create this film. And I was just totally amazed about the story you were just sharing with us because you said you filmed most of it from an iPhone. So let's say someone is just getting started. They have a dream. And how would they, start stepping into that dream? Because I just love your stories, how, when you were young at 13, you said you had something in you, this passion, and you just kind of followed the journey and the steps. So tell us a little bit more, like, give us some tips, like for someone who wants to achieve their dreams, how do they get started?
To make a film. So yes, people right now, everybody has a smartphone with amazing cameras, 4K, 6K even, and you can just film, just shoot. But I have learned a lot through YouTube, but there is plenty now. Thank goodness. There is so many more opportunities for people who want to learn, and so many grants that they're giving around, and so many other filmmakers who need assistance, collaborators. And there is so much that you can read online and watch films to get unconsciously influenced by these beautiful images, and your eyes are going to start seeing more things that people who don't make films don't see. And it's really, really, really beautiful. And just surround yourself by the filmmakers so you learn the lingo. So and apply to those programs. There is a lot of programs right now through all of the wonderful not only the studios, but so many institutions around that are giving classes, introductory classes, even online courses, like my online course that is for aspiring actors and intermediate actors. I'm going to be interviewing, I'm going to have a bunch of filmmakers, accomplished filmmakers and so on, to whom you can ask questions. And so that, when you're doing a documentary, there is a lot of dust sometimes, or noises. Michael's wheelchair, is a power chair. So the lavaliers, everything caused so much trouble. Was so it was really, really hard. So, but the film, yes, was shot with Sony A3, 2 cameras, and then GoPros, and then the iPhone 7. And there is even competitions out there about films or short films being made on iPhone 7. And so, and again, go into YouTube and start taking those production courses, and just don't be afraid. Just do one thing at a time.
I
Just
love that.
like an elephant, right?
Just don't be afraid. I love that. And I have a question for Michelle. Can you please have the documentary again? Can you please share with us the name of the documentary again?
Yes, it's called Altitude, Not Attitude.
Perfect. And you said you can get it on Amazon, right? And what are the other platforms that we can find your documentary again, Maggie?
Yes, you can find it on Amazon Prime. Altitude, Not Attitude. You can find it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, iTunes, YouTube, everywhere you watch movies, pretty much, except Netflix for now. But everywhere.
But
Everywhere.
soon, right? Okay, let's say for soon. We're going to speak that into existence. Now, let's share. You were talking a little bit. You shared that you actually have a course for aspiring actresses and actors. So, can you share a little bit? And actually, you have a special gift for our audience. So, can you share a little bit more about that special course, please?
Absolutely. It's called the 6-step formula to becoming a working actor. And why a working actor? Because Los Angeles, for example, just to start with, it's filled with so many actors. We all are working as waitresses or doing so many other things to support our acting career. But the goal, it's obviously always to be an actor 100%, to work from your art 100%. So that is one of the things that my course guides you to. It comprehends acting craft, business strategies for actors, and success mindset. As you can tell, I am all about success mindset. And so through all of the online courses and all of the live courses, strategies, seminars, conferences that I have studied since even before coming here 17 years ago, on and on and on and on. 2020 and part of 2021 was a year in which I was able to package together all my knowledge or some of my knowledge and experiences into a way that would help people, that would support the people that are coming up, because we all are growing. We all are in our journey to become more and give more and do more and better. But then there is also knowledge that we can share with the upcoming talent. And so I was coaching and teaching, and people would come to me for advice and be the shoulder of people. And then I realized, well, the acting craft is there. Yes, as an actor, as an artist, yes, you have it all, or you're on your way to growing, but you must have a very, very good mindset from the beginning, so you avoid so many obstacles or issues that we had. And so that is what it's about. It says 6 modules online course, 6 weeks, which you can take on your own time because it's online. And of course, there is support, there is coaching from me. There's different packages, but right now I have a very special price for Ignite magazine, for It Lit magazine and Ignite Your Essence. Signs up for the raffle right now. The first 50 people that sign up, they're gonna enter the raffle, and I'm gonna give away 5 of those courses. They're worth price around worth over $6,000. So check it out, but you can get it for free right now. And check out the prices. Check out, you can gift it as well. But again, I'm gonna give 5 for whomever fills out the form right now to enter the raffle. For the first 50 ones that get to enter the raffle, then I'm gonna give 5 away. And I can't tell you how excited I am about it, because people is been responding really, really good to it.
Thank you so much, Maggie. That is phenomenal. And thank you for your generous offer. I think that's so amazing. And let's go back to the mindset. I know that your career started in Mexico, right? And then you had this dream of coming to Hollywood, and Hollywood's kind of big, right? So what did you, is there like a morning routine that you do, or how did you build through that 17 years your mindset? What is it that you did, like maybe on a regular basis, and for you to be so courageous to leave, your country, your hometown, and then go to, Mecca, Hollywood, and then
Okay.
start all over? And I don't know if you had connections at the time and so forth, but how did you take that leap of faith?
Wow. Faith. That's what it is. That's the first thing. That's the very, very first thing. Wake up, and at least in your mind, if you cannot write it down because your hand is still half asleep, just go over in your mind about minimum three things for which you are very grateful, and make it a habit. That is very, very, very important. The way it all started for me, I was a teen mother. So I came here with my daughter. She was around 7 already, and so yeah, 6 7, and so I had no time to listen to the naysayers, and I didn't know that I didn't know English. I was, oh my god, the casting directors the first years, they were look at me and just squint and say, wait, can you say that again? Wait. And then they look at each other like, what did she just say? Because my accent was so thick. It was so hard. And then, like about a year later, I got married, and my ex-husband had 2 kids. They were that were the same age than my daughter. And so I would be driving throughout Los Angeles from casting office to casting office across the Los Angeles County with 3 rowdy kids in the back, where I am learning my lines. And it was just what kept me going is that I needed to pay the bills. I needed to pay for my daughter to school, for her shoes, for everything that she needed to keep her healthy, happy. And I needed to pay for my headshots, and I needed so there was no way anybody would come to discourage me. I have been always very close to God, because that's one of the great things that our teacher taught us. And then my grandmother. And then later on here, when I moved here, I thought, okay, being a single mother, I need to explore all the churches possible, all the possible churches that I can, to find a community, a village, to raise my daughter properly, right? Because it was only the 2 of us, and I didn't have any family, and so I didn't fit in with any church. I guess sometimes I scare people when they, I don't know. It's just, for me, when you walk through life with a very clear intention, and you're just being protective of your family, your loved ones, your dreams, yourself, there is no games to play. There is no time to waste in fear, because fear is always going to be around us. There is always going to be so many obstacles. But then, and I keep on talking about that, but then we have to focus on what we can do and what is the best that we can do. So, get whatever job you need to get as long as you keep on moving forward. And so that's how I made it. I kept on knocking on doors. I even worked for years as an extra, as a film extra, and I learned a lot from behind the scenes. And I got to ask directors and crew things, and it is fantastic. And I know now you have to go through a lot of programs to shadow. That is called shadowing. Um, um, Directors or other lead crew members. And so it's always people have to keep in mind that we are always ready to learn, stay humble, and you will always be able to be learning no matter what. Everybody has something to teach you, and you must treat everybody and respect everybody the same. And so once you have that mindset, you're going to keep on growing, and that is what um, I think allowed me to book and work in such an amazing films, because being patient. I think that mostly we have to be super patient with ourselves, because we do have our own fears and our own obstacles in our heads mostly, and we are gonna always have something to overcome, and we all are so unique that no matter what, you just have to keep on moving, keep going, keep going, keep going.
I love your inspirational story. First the tenacity you have and the courage you have, as a single mom to, take your daughter and come to another country. But then also your drive. You had a dream. So even though you wanted to make sure you're taking care of your family, but you also had a dream and you weren't giving up on that dream and you did whatever it took to make it happen. So I just want to say, wow, that is an amazing story. And what I also love about your story is your awareness that, hey, it takes a village. So you were searching out, that community that can support you, that, hey, you didn't want to, do it alone, go it alone. So I just admire you, Maggie, through your
Thank you.
story and how you've been able to, be that example, that inspiration of unlimited possibilities, and it sounds like you really were very clear on what you wanted and you stayed focused. And even though you had kids in the back of the seat,
Oh my God.
swing to the lines. And I think that's amazing. So when you're working with your clients, how do you help them to stay focused, to go after those dreams? Because life does happen. We do have obstacles. We do have challenges. And you talked about the fear, and the fear of doing it anyway. So when working with your clients, what is it that you do to help them move through that so that they can live their journey and achieve their dreams?
Well, at first, we all change as we go, but if they have very clear what is their mission, if their mission it's whether it's booking a film or working with certain stars or booking a commercial or booking television, working television or whatever their dreams there is, I just help them narrow that mission and help them set up goals the right way and help them set up timelines and help them set up a action to-do list so do they accomplish and then brainstorm how is it that they can accomplish and who is it going to be involved, who will they need, who is within the network, who do they have to be surrounded, by whom do they have to be surrounded. That is one of the things, going back to your previous question, linking back to your previous question, it's how is it that you grow in life. You have to surround yourself by the best people, good-hearted people that has good intentions, that has your best that desires the best for you. And so there is so many things that we teach, that I teach in my online course, but when they have clarity, that's how people will stay very, very focused. So I teach them, it's this people around you right now or those activities right now really in alignment with your goal, and then how can you do better, how can you move forward with that. It's sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's really painful to let go of certain people, sometimes it's it takes strength to get yourself up and do the exercise that you need, not to look good, but to have this stamina, to have the clarity of mind, to have health overall, and to do, to set yourself into getting things done. And how do you commit to excellence? How do you learn how to, no matter what is happening in life, I mean, there's protest, and then your neighbors next door, you hear them crying, and there is chaos outside of you. I teach them how to stay zen, how to, because I also teach meditation, and we have meditation tracks on my online course, and take them to the core, to the center, and help them tap into their inner power. So many beautiful techniques that I have learned throughout the years that I am offering in this online course as well.
Wow, that's so amazing, Maggie. And I have a question for you. If you were talking, because you said you were a young mother, and if you were going back to like your 18 or 17-year-old self, what piece of advice would you give yourself back then that you know now, going through this journey of achieving your dreams? If there's something that you would do differently or some type of advice you would give yourself at your 17-year-old or 18-year-old self?
Oh my God, yes. Oh, so many. I still talk to her. I talk to my inner child sometimes too. Hey, don't worry. That's been triggered. Don't worry. That didn't happen. So I would advise them to be well balanced. In most cases, people need to be selfish at that age and focus on their own growth, focus on achieving, focus on accomplishing. And it's very rare that they're going to find people that is totally the opposite. So those need to be more thoughtful of others, and having a very well balanced life. It's very, very important. But in my case, yes, it wouldn't be more of, just focus on your career. And but I needed, my daughter needed a father, and so on. So it is important to do your best that you are doing. Do your very best with whatever you have around you, and those circumstances in life. But try to be very centered, focused on what is the best outcome. And most importantly, look into the larger vision, to the larger picture. Again, who is the people that need to be around in your life? Who is the people that is really loving you and supporting you? Or who's the people that just came here to teach you and test you? And how can you learn faster so you don't go through certain challenges again and again, or so on? So I would advise myself, when I was 17, just stay single. Stay single, don't get married, you're too young. You need to build yourself, you need to edify yourself first. And that is very important for young people to a lot of people, they are judged by being selfish and this and that. But at that age, it is a natural thing that people have. But some of us, sometimes we need a little bit more, and just focus on your career, focus on your growth, because once you become strong, then you can help others. Before that, no, before the winds are gonna blow you. And that is, just if you focus faster, you are of better help faster to the world, to your loved ones, and so on.
You're so right. We can't pour from an empty cup. So really, I love that advice that you're giving us. That find ourselves. I mean, but to have more balance, take care of ourselves, our relationships, and I want to kind of go with that. I mean, we were talking about surrounding yourself with the people that have what you want or have that positive mindset. But let's say you're in an environment that is, I mean, I love what you were saying at the age of 13, that your mentor, he took you everywhere, just poured into you. But let's say if you don't have that, how would a person be able to maybe find that community? And we're kind of born in some families, right? That may not be in our best interest, that may kind of limit us. I think we talked about that unlimited possibility mindset. But then there's families that we are born into that doesn't have that mindset. So how can a person grow from that without alienating their family or alienating their friends? But how can they find a community where they can be like a seed of growth? So can you share with that, like what you did maybe? How did you find that?
Well, first of all, I think that we should all go towards the things that we love the most. I love salsa. I love music. I love theater. So I was surrounded. I went to those things, right? And I would walk away from negativity. I would walk away from cattiness, which is a factor that has been in my life a lot. But then, as you grow from being a teenager into a young mom, and then into an adult, and so on, I think everybody has the opportunity to go into those places. Now, there are communities. I remember, and I'm not going to talk about politics, of course, but I remember there was a time where we were going through elections many years ago, and someone was asking me, a very dear friend of mine, politician friend of mine, was asking me, what is it that the mothers from East LA, for example, were not much, and this and that. And I said to him, well, but look at them. They have to have 2 to 3 jobs, and they are partnered with someone from their past country, or their country, or they are usually in a difficult situation and a difficult relationship, and they cannot leave them because their economy will suffer. And so they're dealing with these emotional and the situations in life that they barely have any time to dedicate to their children. Do you think they're going to have time to dedicate to their community or to their or to the country or anything else? They're barely trying to get themselves out there and breathe, survive. And so I am so glad that you're asking me this, because as a single mother, you have to go and take a moment, pause, and look out for those resources out there, because there are people to help, ready to help, to support, and it's so beautiful. You just have to search and search and take notice and take action to look. Sorry, there is a fire
Okay.
going on
I'm just
here.
sorry, 'cause,
So there is always a resource. And so people have to do that, and then you will find that, for example, when there is fairs or activities, art activities or beautiful things happening around, you will find also resources. Just ask and talk to people, because nobody is alone. We all are going through something. We all have dreams. We all are reaching for a better world. Everybody here is to serve and collaborate, and some of us know it more than others just yet, but we're gonna get there. So that's what I will tell them. Search, look out, reach out, have fun.
thank you. I could so resonate and relate because I'm a single mom. I mean, I was a teen mom also, and if I went back to my 17 self, I think I would tell myself exactly the same thing, right? Just we think that we got to do it alone, but there is resources and community that are positive and uplifting. So thank you for sharing that story with us. Now, there's one big question we love to ask our guest each episode, and so I like to bring that question up and ask you this, Maggie. And it's from Buckminster Fuller. And the question is, how do we make the world work for 100% of humanity in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without ecological damage or disadvantage to anyone? Now, I know that kind of sounds like a mouthful, but we're really excited. I want to know, what is it that, for you, Maggie?
Boing.
Yeah.
Fancy question. I think that empowering people to search for their dreams, to find a dream, to find what is it that they love to do, what talents they have, and then make them into skill, get trained, get education, take action, create their own business, grow, collaborate with others, and always focus on the greatest good of all concerned. There is more than enough in this world for everyone. There is so much for everyone. And so the way that I am trying to make this happen is, through making films that resonate with what is in my heart, with what is in my mind, what the way I was brought up, such the film Altitude, Not Attitude, or the ones that I am in developing, that are all about sustainability. And also with the online courses, I am teaching the students to do their best, because by doing our very best, we are of better service to the rest of humanity. And so that's what it is.
Well, Maggie, you sound like you are a lifetime learner. And I love that. You said when we are working on ourselves and doing our best, then we are able to contribute to humanity as a whole. I think that is such a beautiful statement. And so thank you so much. And so I know you're up to so many things, but is there something else you'd like to share with us that you're up to right now, Maggie? I know you're doing your online courses. You have the film you just produced, but is there something that we haven't talked about today that you'd like to share with our audience?
There is oh God, it's really, and it's in development. Yes, it's in development. I have a upcoming short that I will film too. There is one that is in post-production as a film director, and there is a couple of works that I just did as an actress, and some other ones that are coming up. But the ones in developing, they're huge, and there's not much I can talk about it just yet. You know how it is, this industry. But they're amazing. They're amazing. I'm very, very, very grateful for all the support and the challenges too, because it's a really, really huge challenge. But I like to remind people that the first 50 people, I see people signing up, and that is very, very beautiful. I'm very excited for you because I have so much to offer you, to give you, to share with you about putting your name in there for the raffle. And remember that I'm going to be giving 5 of my online courses. It's a 6 weeks online course, 6-step formula to becoming a working actor, and in which you're going to learn wonderful, wonderful things that are going to help you for life, whether you continue your acting as an actor, an acting career, or you just go into another business and, as a producer and so on. And so something that I wanted to share, like, people are going to just do their best, yes, but they're going to find always a way to get things done in a way that are going to be helpful for everybody. Because when you focus on that, a whole ecological situation, it's just in the best outcome for everyone. Things work out very well. The right people comes on your aid, and then it's all about keeping on growing. And so I thank you so much for inviting me to this amazing show. I am so honored because I have been watching your show, and the people that you bring in here are just mind-blowing, and it's so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, Maggie, you've just been amazing. We've had so many positive comments throughout our show today. And I just love what you're talking about, about having a vision. That vision really creates the clarity that you need. Now, Maggie, you are, as you said, a phenomenal. You have so many talents. Is there, especially being a mom, a single mom, well, then you were married, but, just raising a family, is when someone comes like to you and say, hey, I don't have enough time, is there any kind of like a time management productivity tip that you can leave us with? Because what you're doing is extraordinary, I want to say, because you've done a lot in your career. So how do you manage that, being, a mom, and then, being an actress, and then being a film producer? Is there one little tip you can give us before we close out our show? Because I'm sure our audience is like, wow, how do you do it all?
We all do so much. We just, not all of us get interviewed. So I'm blessed, really. I am blessed to get to share. But so one thing is grab a piece of paper and write down all the things that you think that you have to do. And out of those things, you are going to find out, and I learned this from, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, all of them, Les Brown. I have read all of their books and take so many of their courses and so on. But this really, 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 really works for me, to have your master to-do list. But if people don't do it just yet, then just write down. You're going to know. Just ask yourself, what is the thing that I have to do if I had to leave by the end of the week? If I have only 1 week, and for some reason I have to step out of the state or the country or go on a trip, and I'm not going to get to do anything else, what is that one thing that you must do? Your brain, your subconscious mind is going to immediately tell you, oh, it is that one thing. Okay, if I get to do that one thing today, okay, what would be the next thing to do? So you're going to come up with 3 main things, and then you just have to take action on that. And then if that way you can create a structure for the rest of the month, for the rest of the trimester, the 6 months, the year. But you can also work from backwards. Like, okay, I can't wait to win an Oscar and share to the world that my acting abilities, that I am surrounded by these amazing people with so much talent, and that we get to create something that is so beautiful, that really resonates with humanity and contributes, and it's so much fun. So then I had to sit down and write down, okay, what is it that I have to do? in order to accomplish that. So you write it down backwards. Okay, this is the goal, and then you write it backwards. What is it that has to be accomplished in 1 year, in 6 months, and so on, right? And so, and again, you can, how do you do in daily basis? If you have so many things happening, coming onto you, okay, write down the main 3 things. And if you get to do one, that might take the whole day, that's okay, that's good. But write things down, and that will help.
Wow, that is profound. Sometimes it's those simple steps, those simple things that we need to do to help us accomplish our dreams. So thank you so much, Maggie, for joining us today. It was truly an honor, truly a pleasure, and we're really looking forward to just creating magic together. We're really excited. And so thank you for joining us today, Maggie. And so that's it. I am Michelle Wilson. We're really excited about ignite your essence. Make sure you join us next week. Next Wednesday is our next show with Michelle Cavedo on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. And then I'll be back here next Thursday at 11 a.m. So with that, ignite your essence.